Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Yep, it's the world's most dangerous morning show, The Breakfast Club. Charlamagne the God, Angela Yee. We got some special guests here. Introduce them, Yee.
Well, we have Al Harrington, who's been on the show several times.
That's right.
And, you know, we love talking about marijuana with you as well as your other accomplishments. But I think right now what you have going on is amazing. So we'll talk about that. John Monopoly, who I've been with nonstop this past week or so. And John Monopoly, you know him from working in the music business. Obviously, right now, currently working with Kanye.
That's been forever, though.
On his new project right now. That's the most current thing that's happening that we're going to get into that, too, I'm sure. Yeah. And then Dan Pettigrew. What's up, Dan?
How you doing?
Now, Dan is also partners in Viola. So let's get into it, guys.
Yeah,
and you brought
man.
up some Iverson, by the way. Thank you.
Yeah.
What is this Iverson now?
Yeah, so me and AI working together, coming up with a, creating a brand for him in the cannabis space. Really excited about it. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, a super, icon. You know, when you think about like the way he changed the game, you know, it correlates for us because we're trying to change the game in cannabis. You know what I'm saying? Especially for people of color.
You know what I respect about the NBA players? Y'all never discuss your cannabis use while y'all played. Even now.
Right.
Even though you can pretty much tell who probably was smoking at the time, y'all still don't do it. Is that like an unwritten rule?
Matt Barnes will.
Yeah, bro. I always say, man, we got PTSD, man. You just like, you've seen it negatively impact, you know what I'm saying, so many people in every part of their lives, you know what I'm saying? So it's just really hard for people to really warm up to like being open and honest about it.
And equity is a big conversation too. Dan, can you talk a little bit about the business of cannabis and your work?
Oh, no question. My focus is actually on the licensing side of things. You know, me and Al started Viola in 2011. I started on the legal cannabis side in 2008. And our main priority is just onboarding as many minorities into the legal cannabis space as possible. So licensing and brands are the main priority right now.
And, you know, I've been talking a lot about this other brand you have, Foria. And so I want to talk about that because for women, that's a huge deal for us, just being able to have, and for men too, to have these products that you can actually use to enhance your sexual experience.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you know, obviously everybody wants to have a lot of fun in the bedroom, but, you know, the reality of it is, you know, a lot of people have problems in the bedroom, you know what I'm saying, and not being able to, you know, really enjoy, you know, sex like they should, right? So, you know, we're really focused on creating products that, you know, will create that. Right, we feel like everybody should have good sex and have fun with it and feel good. You know what I'm saying? So, doing it with my wife was obviously the perfect partner to do a lot of R&D and all that kind of stuff across the board.
It seemed like you could have another party.
You know what I'm saying?
What the hell are you talking about? You mean that she was the perfect partner? What are you talking about?
Well, yeah, man. So you know, right? I'm tripping. But you know, it's been fun. You know, it's been fun going to this journey. You know, going into business with your spouse too is something that's really cool. You know,
How did y'all test the product?
You know, in the bedroom, you know, but we got introduced to the product about almost 4 years ago now, you know, and, you know, started using it. And I got to the point where I was just like, you know, I think that women from our community don't have access to products like this. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, you think about the sexual part, but it helps with women that deals with, you know, mad menstrual pain and cramps and different things like that. So, you know, I've even seen like little girls as early as 12 years old using some of the products, you know what I'm saying, suppositories and stuff like that deal with like extreme pain, you know what I'm saying? So it's just really cool to be a part of, you know, the solution and, you know, creating products with cannabis that can help our people.
John, have you tried it?
I haven't, but me and wife have been trying it. Sure. I heard it works well, so I'm excited to try it.
It's phenomenal.
Why jump in this business now, John? Like,
well, I've been an avid smoker for 20 plus years, and I've always just, you know, enjoyed the fruit. And I've always wanted to be in the business, and I grew up with Dan, and Al and I go back, and it was just the perfect opportunity in the right time. So,
what can you bring to the table? You know, you've been a chief strategy officer for the longest in the music industry, but what can you bring to the table with Weedwise?
Relationships, strategic partnerships. Like, for example, the first deal that I did with the company was with a designer named Kirby, who has a brand called Pierre Moss. He just actually made history as the first black designer to present in the Paris Couture show. And we have a division dedicated that he's curating and the creative director for called Designer Drugs, which is a concept that I came up with. And we're doing a lot of exciting things with him. So it's just about what I'm bringing together. It's just relationships in the culture that will help shift the culture.
And you're working on a festival coming up.
Yeah, absolutely. It's in Benton Harbor, Saturday, September 4th. It's the Nobody's Home Festival. We've got a lot of great performers: Rick Ross, Jay Electronica, thank you, Freddie Gibbs, G Herbo. So a lot of people coming to perform. It's gonna be great. It's to celebrate our new partnership with Wilson Chandler and the Nobody's Home dispensary that he has in Benton Harbor.
How has the business evolved since, like, weed's been getting legalized throughout the U.S.?
Yeah, because you guys got in so early.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's evolved a lot. Obviously, when we first started, obviously it was not as, popular as it is today. You know what I'm saying? I would say that we definitely took risk, early in the game because, there was still funding for enforcement, all these different things. But, we found a way to, continue to move forward, obviously stay compliant and, just continue to build a business, it was very tough.
You took risk and losses. I remember the story, Al lost like a whole dispensary or something like that, right? Our farm,
Detroit,
was it?
In Detroit, we lost
They
raided our facility there. And,
Think about that.
Yeah, it cost us like $20 million too.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? Like when you really think about all the loss that we had, money we would have made if we were operating and different things like that. Viola would be in a totally different position if that did not happen. You know what I'm saying? So, that was a huge blow.
He won't say it, but I'll say it. He covered a lot of that loss out of his pocket.
Wow.
So he didn't. It's funny, but it's true. He actually sent the employees that got arrested on vacation to the Dominican Republic. So it's just a lot of the stuff he does that he doesn't get credit for is really knocking down these doors and placing that burden on his shoulders to really bring minorities in the space. Right now, you're talking about 3% ownership, which is crazy, especially sitting here in New York. When you talk about the way these laws were enforced and who they affected, have you ever been arrested for marijuana or had to do anything?
Yeah, back in the day in South Carolina. Yeah,
which is egregious. I can't even imagine how draconian that is. So, 3% ownership is just something that's it's a slap in the face, in my opinion, especially after everything we've had to endure with the criminalization of black people through the smell of marijuana and the use of marijuana.
How do we improve those numbers?
I think you kind of follow this man's lead and you bring in people like John and you have conversations with people like yourselves and you really bring attention to the fact. I don't think people really understand that they're securing an industry as we speak.
That's right.
This is happening right now. And I think a lot of people look at it as, oh, there's opportunities, there's this and there's that. But the infrastructure for the industry is being created right now. And I think for us, the main priority is, ownership opportunities. If we don't have ownership, we're always relegated to the back seat. And just with the marijuana, again, I mean, think about 90% of the people in jail for marijuana in the state of New York are black and brown. And they make up, 30% of the population?
That's crazy.
And then that gets into how you can get housing, how you can get student loans, how you can do all of these things. So it really has been used to really, for lack of a better word, oppress people. And now that you're opening up these opportunities, we just think it's only right to have diversity.
A lot of people complain about the cost, right, of being able to even get a license or being able to get in the business. So how do you alleviate that?
I think it is expensive, but, we talk to a lot of elected officials, and one thing I said is every black person's not broke. There's a lot of talent, a lot of resources in our community, and I think it's just a matter, and what he's been trying to do is really lead that parade of talent, to take advantage and full advantage of the opportunities that are presented in front of us. But at the end of the day, the talent is there, the resources are there. What's been lacking is the opportunities. And as those opportunities come, we're just trying to put ourselves in a position to take full advantage of them.
How did you not get discouraged when that happened? When
I don't know, man. This is I'm supposed to do this. You know what I mean? Like I have the same passion that allowed me to play 16 years in the league. I feel that same way about this. You know what I'm saying? I wake up thinking about it. I go to bed thinking about it. You know what I'm saying? So it consumes me. And and I just think about this is an opportunity for us to liberate our people.
Did they ever give you a reason?
Who give me a reason?
The law enforcement.
There
was no reason.
Legal stuff going on though. We're in litigation currently. So.
Yeah, that's crazy.
There was no real reason though.
Because I wonder, I was going to ask you, did you ever foresee a successful future in the weed industry? Clearly you did, but did you see it prior to it being legalized?
Nah, hell no. I ain't even going to front. You know what I'm saying? When we first started, bro, we was just trying to, we wanted to do something in Colorado very small. We had a 12,000 square foot building. Like, did I ever think that I wanted to be the largest black, nationally owned MSO? No. it evolved. You know what I'm saying? Like obviously when I first saw it, I was scared. Kind of, but I just knew that because of what I saw it do for my grandmother, and then obviously what it eventually did for me and my quality of life. I knew this was the right thing. You know what I'm saying? I knew that I had a platform, you know what I'm saying, a voice that I could start to change the stigma. You know what I'm saying? So that was the first thing that I wanted to do. And then as I got into space and started to go into these different rooms with all these different CEOs and realized it was never anybody in the room that looked like me, I'm like, that's another problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's one of those things where we feel like if we don't do this work and help create these opportunities, it'll never get done. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people in the process right now were just checking boxes. You know, right now it's popular for us all with the Black Lives Matter to say we support black business. And then people that don't look like us, now that's all, when I'm around, that's all they say. I'm like, what happened before? Like 2 years ago, it was this same energy. You know what I'm saying? So I just think that once again, they're trying to use it to take advantage of us again, you know what I'm saying? So we have to be there to kind of make sure, like, certain things are being done, and we have to speak on it. And that's why we appreciate, you guys letting us use platforms like this to talk about it, because it needs to be heard.
No, I told you, I hear you. Go ahead.
I was going to say, when you said it, when it comes to the stigma, can we talk about some of the benefits of cannabis, just so people who are listening know? Because I think there still is a stigma. People always act like, oh, I'm not into that, I can't do that, it's bad for you, kills your brain cells, all of that. So can we talk about the benefits?
Yeah, well, my doctor hat, but all of our bodies have an endocannabinoid system or whatever, and there's cannabinoids in the plant, which are, and our endocannabinoid system allows the receptors to receive all the cannabinoids from out of the cannabis plant. So right now we're still in the process of testing because there's no federal funding. Like, they haven't even really been able to really unlock the real magic that's really within the plant. We only really know about two things, you know what I'm saying, the THC and the CBD for real. But there's like CBN, CBG, all these other cannabinoids that are coming online. But, when I think about the things that it help, for athletes, right, with inflammation, anxiety, it helps people, that have HIV and cancer, to be able to have an appetite and different things like that, kids with epilepsy and seizures, so it's so many things that the cannabis plant does. And I mean, I have family members that, recently have had cancer, and other friends, and, there's this product called Rick Simpson oil, which is pretty much all the cannabinoids in the plant. And we've seen a lot of success with it. My auntie, she had breast cancer and went through chemo, and she gained 8 pounds. You know what I'm saying? Which never happens because, the chemo usually, messes with your appetite, and that's what really kills you, So it's just little things like that that little things, you know what I'm saying, that we're starting to see. And, like I said, I think down the line, I think cannabinoids will be even in pharmaceutical drugs. You know what I'm saying?
The best thing for me, man, is the milligrams that the edibles have. You know what I mean? Because I used to try to do THC for my anxiety, but then I'd be smoking sativa and smoke too much and have a real bad panic attack. But now with the edibles, if I do 5 to 10 milligrams of some indica, I'm so good. Yeah. Takes the edge off amazingly.
It's great to go to sleep, too.
Oh, well, that Iverson is an indica too.
Word?
You know what I'm saying? Okay. So it'll definitely let you get a good night's rest for sure.
And that's one of the benefits of legalization, right? Everybody has an edible story where 2 people ate a brownie, one was passed out high and the other one didn't feel anything. So it's just a byproduct of the ability to really create distillate, which allows for better edibles, where you can actually measure the dose and speak exactly to what you're putting into it, which I think is a good thing.
I'll tell you this, John is always pretty calm. And I have to attribute that because there's a lot going on around you. Yeah. And then
I smoke a lot, so that helps me keep calm.
Well, you work with Kanye, sir, so you would have to, you got to do something to stay stress-free. All right.
So is this album coming out on Sunday or what? That's what we see. The date is August 15th, the pre-order. We see that up.
I cannot confirm nor deny anything. I don't know. But it's going to come out when it's ready. He's, the best to ever do it. He's a perfectionist, so please be patient, fans.
Does your company Viola, does it have any intentions on like helping people who've been wrongfully incarcerated for weed?
Yeah, so we have Viola Cares or whatever. So we do expungement clinics. We do incubation. You know what I'm saying? So we help young entrepreneurs or people that are in the space that sometimes just need a little push. Maybe just need another level of platform. Maybe some resources here, there, or whatever. So those are 2 of the main things that we've been really just focused on, and then also giving back to the communities. In Detroit, we're about to rebuild a park there. You know what I'm saying? Like just really trying to use this plant that obviously destroyed our community to try to rebuild it.
Is it still hard to get like AI? AI is AI. He represents the culture always, but is it hard to get somebody like him because it might interfere with Reeboks or something else? Like players still got to keep a certain image even after they're not on the court.
Yeah, I mean some people, because I've been trying to figure out, a woman to, join our team, right? And most women that, they definitely have the type of endorsements where they can't be affiliated with weed still. You know what I'm saying? So
That's crazy.
I would say that the guys have been a lot easier, but the women have especially the level of women we've been trying to, attract, those are the ones that, usually have stuff in their contract that they can't do anything.
That's where 4 Year Wellness comes in.
Right. That's where like the CBD products, right? Sometimes you have to kind of just introduce people into the market slowly, and then once they realize that this is happening, right? We're in prohibition. Like this will be legal in 5 years, fully everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So kind of get on board. That's some of the things that, I try to tell our people, because I feel like, when I think about the talent that's available that are black people, right? They're still scared. Like they don't, they can't, like they just can't wrap their arms around it. And our counterparts, they jump in, and they don't care. You know what I'm saying? So just trying to tell our people, like, look, this is generational wealth. You know what I'm saying? This is a generational wealth opportunity.
That's right.
And we need to find a way to take advantage of it because they owe this one to us.
Especially the fact hip hop made it so popular. I mean, god damn.
Right, jazz, all that.
Yeah.
Like, us. You know what I'm saying? Like this is our plant. You know what I'm saying? And we just want our piece of the pie. We want to be at the table, and so we're there, and we're just trying to keep that door open.
So again, think about how crazy 3% ownership is in an industry. I mean, you're looking at probably half of that 3% right now. Wow.
What other investments do y'all see like popping off in the cannabis industry in the next few years?
The biggest priority for us right now is actually the state of New York is legalizing and going through that licensing process. So, again, we view it as a responsibility to make sure that we participate in this, especially with stop and frisk and just the whole nine. And I don't want to beat that dead horse, but I think we have a responsibility to lead or bang the drums for ownership. And I can't stress enough the experience and the aptitude that we've demonstrated as a company over 10 years and how that puts us in a position to be successful in a market as big as New York that's going to be unbelievably competitive. So it's another thing we brought John on just to make sure that the team and the relationship and the partnerships are all cohesive, because it's a monumental task, but this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and once it's gone, it's gone. And not to say the doors are 100% closed, but, it's always harder to backtrack and redo than it is to do it right the first place. So from a licensing standpoint, we were just awarded a license in Chicago, which is my hometown, and, New York is the prize.
What do you think about things that they're trying to put in place to make sure that people can get their licenses? Like I know in Detroit you have to have lived there or had an address there for a certain amount of time. Like what are some things that you can do when it comes to policy to make sure that it's not just people swooping in from other places and benefiting, and making sure that people that actually live somewhere that have been raised there can benefit?
To do things according to race is what they say is unconstitutional. So a lot of what they use is a demographic that's been disproportionately impacted by the war on drugs. So that's what allows them to kind of go by neighborhoods and go by specific areas, not necessarily race, which to me makes all the sense in the world, because obviously, you have to right wrongs. And I think that's what this is about. There's a woman by the name of Crystal Peoples-Stokes up in Buffalo really doing God's work. Nobody knows her name, but she's just fighting the expungement. They've expunged over 1 million records. Manop, you want to speak to your unfortunate New York incident?
Oh, yeah. So many years ago in 2008, in like 2008, 2009, I was obsessed with Max B, and I was trying to sign him. And I went to pull up on him with like a little bit of weed because I know he was a smoker. And like literally as I'm getting in the car to do my whole pitch, like 2 minutes into it, he rolls down the window to dump the blunt, and police pull up and take us to jail, take us to the Tombs. Anybody from New York know about the Tombs? It's ridiculous. And I was in jail for like 2 days. It was horrible.
Oh my God.
And,
And you still ain't get to sign Max B.
Dude, and I still didn't get to sign Max B. But yeah, and then I was on supervision for a year. So it was like all for like
wow, you were on supervision for
I was on supervision for a year for a gram of weed.
That's
like I
insane.
literally a blunt. Like it was just horrible. So no, it's definitely time for change,
And when we started in Colorado, having that arrest on his record would,
Stop him from getting in the
exclude him
business.
from even
Yeah.
participating in the business. So, I mean, they really tried to box it in. And I understand business is business, but we just want to bring attention to the fact that, again, 3% ownership is a slap in the face.
What's some advice y'all would offer to like fellow black entrepreneurs trying to get in this business? Is it too late?
No, it's not too late.
Okay.
No, because like you said, I mean, you think about New York, right? They got the social equity program. These licenses about to come available, So I would just say, if you're interested, get on the websites, what I'm saying, attend some of the meetings or whatever. Just find out, what it will take to actually go for the license. To Angela's point earlier, it is very expensive. You know what I'm saying? So depending on like what application costs are and different things like that, like in New York, they're supposed to have set aside money to actually help with that process, but a lot of states there aren't, like in California, which has been a disaster, that social equity program. But, I would just encourage our people just to, read, there's applications, they are tough, but, you can do it. You know what I'm saying? We've seen a lot of people have a lot of success. And, I would just say, if this is something that you want to do, go for it.
Yeah, and there's also ways you can get in without necessarily having a dispensary or growing the product. There's a lot of other things you can do. There's these two women that are opening up they're opening up like these lounges where you can, smoke and do things.
That's what I'm thinking is next.
Yeah, those
and
are
so it
gonna be
doesn't
dope.
just have to be having the license. There's a lot of other things and ways that you can get involved.
Yeah, you see in New York, I mean, I seen ice cream trucks, weed all over.
Coffee.
Coffee. You got all kind of, you got packaging, you got you got testing. You know what I'm saying? There's so many different things that's within the industry that we could participate in that, there's opportunity out there.
How did COVID impact y'all, if at all?
Nah, didn't it? People were sitting at home smoking.
Yeah,
bro, it helped.
We were deemed essential workers, so that was actually a big deal.
Oh, seriously?
I think it pushed the industry
Wow.
forward, man, for real. Because I think that, you got a lot of soccer around. Like, my daughters play soccer, right? And, a lot of moms are now smoking Viola because of the pandemic. You know what I'm saying? So
No, I definitely picked up a weed habit during the pandemic. only for my anxiety. Like my dude Jed, he got a company called Hastoria. He would pull up, and I can't do the flowers, so then that's when I got on the edibles, and I'm like, oh, this what the weed, this what the high hype is all about. I get it now.
nah, for sure.
Well, I know what I'm doing tonight with this Iverson.
Word, absolutely. So give them the information, man. Where do they reach out? What do they log on to? What do they go? What do they do?
You check Viola at Viola on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all that across the board. And you can obviously check us out online at violabrands.com.
John, have you introduced Kanye to any weed yet? I think it might be good for him. Level him out.
Nah, not at all.
And I'm gonna continue.
He's not a smoker like that.
I'm gonna encourage people to continue to use that for your wellness if you haven't tried it yet, to have some fun in the bedroom as well.
It's like an aphrodisiac?
There's this tincture that you can put in your vagina. It's kind of like
It's official.
to heighten your pleasure.
John said it's official. He said it's official. You know what I mean? Like I done knocked off a few.
I think what gets underestimated is his access. So that really is some of the best weed in the world. That Euphoria really is one of the best products in the world.
Word.
It's phenomenal.
All right,
Real
well,
talk.
it's
Have some
Al
fun.
Harrington, Dan Pettigrew, and John Monopoly. Thank you, brothers, for coming, man.
Thanks for having us.
It's the Breakfast Club.